Next on the Love You More show.
I've been able to accumulate over 35 million before I was 35 years old. It's not the money. If you understand that if you spent $200,000 on a credit card and invested in the stock market or invested in real estate, your credit card minimum payment is $5,000 a month. So usually, if you make $6,000 a month where you can pay this back, you can go flip $200,000 and put it to work if you properly educated on where to put the money at. They fired me that day from my job.
The job you was working to pay them 96 hours a week.
Now it's over. They fired me. Well, a few months go by, that money you saved up and you had it gone. I'm like, yo, my probation officer told me to come in. She like, oh, what they tell you come in for? I'm like, I don't know. She just keep asking me questions. Like, well, she finally gets to the question, like, yo, you pay your restitution? I was like, nah, you know, I'm.
Hey family, Willie Mo Jr. here. Excited about this moment in time because, baby, guess what? You are tuned in to the Love You More show. Notice I didn't call it a podcast. You called it a podcast, I got to fine you $50. My Cash App is in the description. Let's get that out the way. All right, family, this particular platform is designed for people like you who've been through hurts, habits, hang-ups, breakups, and your journey to loving yourself again just a little bit more or a lot more. You know, the Bible declares this, that you are to love your neighbor as you love yourself. And here's the thing, it's really tough to love your neighbor when you don't love yourself. So I want to expand how you feel about your sha-na-na. Come on, somebody. Here's the thing. I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel. I want to make sure that you become a part of the family. I know traditionally you do not look at the description in this particular YouTube, but I want to encourage you to do that because I work really hard and I partner with ChatGPT to put a cool description in here. And of course, there's a link to our Patreon where you can get the opportunity to ask our guest questions. And of course, I'm popping in there all the time to ask you questions. Make sure that you become a member. Here's the thing. It's another member before I get started because I seen your comments. He's like, why the hell does he continue to do the bell? Her name is Berlicia, okay? She has a name. And when you hear this bell, it's kind of like the highlighter to the point. So don't be distracted. Don't let her distract you. But when you hear that bell, just know you have to listen intentionally. Is that fair? Yes or yes? That's good stuff. Family, the man that I'm hanging out with today, I'll be honest with you, man. I've watched from a distance and I've seen him empower thousands of people. 36-year-old multi-millionaire, serial entrepreneur, and a financial literacy coach with a primary focus on African-American community. Founder and CEO of Recession Proof, a real estate and credit specialist firm that is truly empowering the nation. In 2021, he married my sister Turquoise, known as Her 500. To many people, he is Him 500. He goes by the name of Him 500. It's my dear brother Marcus. What's going on, champ?
Yo, what's up, boss? What's up?
Man, listen, I'm already changing my seat because I already know what's about to happen. You know, Marcus, I'm so glad to have you here. Yep. I told you off camera, you're probably one of the most important people as it pertains to what this economy is about to do in the next 4 years with this new administration. To those of you who need financial literacy, I want you to stick around. We're going to dig deep into that. But of course, you got to get to know the man behind the message. So that's what we're going to do first. So Marcus, I don't know if you had the opportunity to check out the show Love You More, but this show has an icebreaker. And on this particular icebreaker, it's a song. It's called Believer. Now, this is for a person who has a job, but they have a dream of being an entrepreneur. Focus your attention on the screen. Let's do it. After that little counseling session, wifey and I had a time that night. Lord, I was playing so much basketball. You say, Willie Mo Jr., what is that? That mean I was poking and laying up. Call me MJ, baby, from downtown. Now I'm rushing to work. Super duper tripping. What I'm gonna do? Call him and tell him, yeah, me and my wifey, we made up and she put me to sleep and I put her to sleep? Nah. You ever made it to the office so late that you was embarrassed that you even made it at the time? My boss always had it out for me. So when I walk in, he gonna say, Willie Moore Jr., so nice for you to join us. Late. I'm like, sorry, sir. As I take my seat, I end up putting my little church finger up. Everybody in there kind of snickering and giggling. Man, I don't care how mad this dude is. He gonna say, hey guys, seeing how Willie finally decided to join us, grace us with his amazing presence, let's just take a 5-minute break. A break? After I done rushed my happy tail all the way from home trying to get to this. Breathe. He lucky I'm a believer. Woke up this morning with a headache. I ain't seen that one in a while. Listen, Believer available wherever music is sold. So make sure that you stream it now. Marcus, this particular icebreaker, I'm going to work. And this boss, he already had it out for me. Marcus, talk about young Marcus. Has he ever had a job?
Yep. I had a job at 18. I got my real estate license. But I had a job when I fell on hard times. I worked in a warehouse.
Okay.
For a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Yeah. So Marcus is now, you 36, 37?
Yep.
36 years old, extremely successful in what you're doing. But talk about some of the decisions that you made, because you posted on social media a lot that you caught some cases trying to do the right thing and the wrong thing kept happening. Talk a little bit about it.
I wasn't even trying to do the right thing. I was just trying to get rich.
You trying to get rich quick?
Listen, I had a decision. I said, get rich or get sent to the police station. That was the only, it was one or two. I did both. Yeah. So along the time though, in that journey is that my best friend had died, committed suicide. And I remember Nipsey also said that in a song, literally come back from the funeral. But making some of the wrong decisions, one of the things is that I learned along the time is that no matter what happened, is that because I could have beat my case, right? They pinned it on me. It's a group effort, but I could have, and my dad said, if you took part in it, then take accountability, because if you get away with it, you'll do it again. And you won't learn the lesson. And he was like, they let you out of this cage. He said, if you out of this cage, you do whatever you got to do to just make it right. And don't ever allow them to put you back in here. And I'm like, I don't know, you tripping. But then they had to sit on me, and I thought about it, and I said, yo, if you become a repeat offender, if you get away with something and you don't go through the actual consequences, you think like, oh,
I can do it again.
I'll do it again.
Yeah.
And so, from there, it's just, I always lived a life like, yo, got to take account. And so end up dealing with that case, 2 years working in the warehouse. But that was one of the biggest pivotal points, because I came from an environment where I already had a Benz, I already had a condo, to driving a 1996 Mercury Cougar with bad steering column and struts squeaking. I don't know if you ever heard a strut squeak.
This nigga strut
but
squeak.
when them struts squeak,
it's nothing. It's embarrassing.
Bruh. So I remember having to open the door from the outside.
Yeah.
I remember little Hispanic kid getting a raise above me. Yeah. Like becoming my boss. Somebody I trained, end up becoming my manager. Man, I'm like, you know what? In this environment, I realized I don't got no control. The only thing I could control is how hard I work. And I developed a lot of work ethic. Yeah. Working like 30 hours of overtime every single week, 20 to 30 hours of overtime. We used to like not leave. They like, yo, it's unlimited overtime. We so backed up. We ain't leaving. Yeah. We sleeping in a parking lot. Like one week, one of my guys worked 96 hours.
Jeez.
So in that time period, I learned a lot, but I got to witness that everybody don't got the desires I want. Everybody don't want to be rich. It was people that was like, yo, I'm cool. I just want to go tailgate. Some dudes like,
I want to go tailgate.
Had one dude was like, yo, I'm cool. I just want to be able to tailgate on the weekends, watch the Falcons. I'm a diehard Falcon fan. I'm cool. One dude was a country boy, came up. He like, man, I want to, living here, working here, I could retire. I could buy my family a house. I can make upwards of $50,000, $60,000 a year. Man, this cool. And I was just thinking like, ain't no way. But I said, you know what? Don't ever confuse the gift and the vision that God blessed on you for you, and don't think and forget that other people exist in this world. Yeah. Your vision is unique. Your desires is unique. It's for you. This exists. People really, everybody don't think like you. Yeah. And bring back to life. And I'm like, you know what? Get busy.
Yeah. So let's run back. You talked about your father. And when we talked offline just now about your father, it was the first time that I've ever seen Marcus as a little kid. It's this real giddy young boy smile. Talk about your father and their relationship, what happened to him and what's about to happen in the next few days.
So my father went to jail when I was 7 years old. Been in prison since, right? And it was a time where I always went to go visit my dad. He had 5 years. So for the first 5 years while he was in prison, I went to go visit him. He was supposed to get out. He had a state case. 6 months before his release date, the feds picked him up. The Fed case gave him life. So when he went to fight the Fed case, he had to fight that. We thought he had life. He ended up getting 20-something odd years, and his release date was 2032. At that point, from a kid, my dad died. Like, it's over. That doesn't, 2000, you imagine being in the year 2000, it was about 2000, 2001, and you get picked up on a Fed case. It's like, you know what? It wasn't even 2000. It was like 1999. It's like, yo, you don't come home. You know what I'm saying? So for me, looking at that, it was like 2030 don't exist.
So you're 7 years old when this happened?
Yep. I'm 7 when he went. And they picked him up 3.5, 4 years later. So I'm about 10 years old. And so at that point, I'm like 5th, 6th grade, 6th grade. It's like, okay, he gone.
What does that do to a 7-year-old Marcus?
The 7-year-old that lost him didn't really understand it. See, my dad used to always, he'd call me and be like, I can look back because me and my dad, we had a real private relationship. He a private dude. We don't go to public places. I don't know. We go to restaurants, it's just us. We go to movie theaters, it's just us. When we go toy shopping in Walmart, we in there 9, 10 o'clock at night, it's just us. And I'll be looking like everywhere. Now that I look back, everywhere we went, it was like us, secluded. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so as a kid, once he left, we would be able to talk over the phone and I would go visit him. So I'm like, okay, this is different. But the disappearance, when it was gone, it was like, it's over. Like I lost him. So I had to just accept he gone. There's nothing I can do about it. You see what I'm saying? And one of the things that he taught me was that he said, like, he explained my dad went down for racketeering, money laundering, moving over 150 keys over state lines, murder for hire, you name it, right? And he like, I asked Allah to take me away from that. And it was either death or here. So I'm thankful.
Jeez.
I'm thankful to still be able to speak to you. Don't take this as a bad thing. Take this as a good thing because I asked for it. Wow. I needed it and I earned it.
Jeez.
So,
How old were you when he's telling you this?
10. So I took it like, yo, this is what he asked for.
Yeah.
This is where we at. I can't change my life. We can't change our dynamics. Yeah. So he will always infuse like, yo, listen, the things that happen to us, it's nothing we could change in that.
So where's mom through all this?
My mom there. My mom, my dog. That's, she a hustler. So
she a hustler too.
I'm seeing her go back, get her master's degree, go from, we rent a house, they kick us out, we end up homeless. My mom go buy a house, then catch the bus to work, come home in the Escalade. Like, my mom figured it out. Like, we ain't quitting. Whatever we got to do, we got to do. So that's what I got to see and witness in his absence.
Yeah.
And then I get to hear all the stories of who he was.
What type of stories did you hear?
He was just he was like the one of the guys that was like, he was one of the biggest the hustlers in the city. He used to have a record label, used to have a record store, bring rappers to the city, you name it, but also was very family oriented, very supportive of sisters and brothers and things like that, especially sisters and just the family unit. One of my aunts is one of the brains and the bull of our family, is super smart. And she'd be like, look, I went and got my degree, but your dad was always there to help me. Jeez. Like if I had to get to school, he'd send somebody to take me. Like they'd drive, wait for a week, whatever, it don't matter. He was always supportive in that guidance, and just to see who she became and the fact of who she was and how she always led with like, nah, like we don't do this. We don't do that. You a Barney. You gotta. And I'm like, okay. So we would hear the stories of the things that he did, the things in the community. Oh man, your dad always had a nice car. I look at pictures. He got a Rolex on. These things subconsciously sit on the kid.
They on you.
So it's like naturally like, oh man, I come from a hustle. I don't come from no broke. You know what I'm saying? So this is how I carry it. And that's part of the thing is like kind of create who I am.
Yeah. I think the unique difference between you and I, we share something at 7. 7, your father leaves. 7, I find out that my father's not my real father. Cause like I'm adopted. I'm 7. People in the hood, I'm from St. Louis. So I think, we kind of come from the same terrain. And so the kids are being really crazy, talking about they don't mess with adopted kids. And at 7, I was just like, okay, cool. If that's what it is, it's what it is. And so for me, I ran into my imagination. So now, like all of the integrity and all the things that I'm learning is no longer what I feel is mine. So now I am in this imagination. So I become this singer, this rapper, this person, and I got to live like this, and I'm working out and I'm doing all of that. I think what's unique about you is like you were able to have people that were in your biological family and have something to fight for. And just to the fathers out there, I even want to let you know that in your absence, if you could see, like to my brothers who watch behind the walls, I know a lot of times when you listen to these conversations, you just listening for entertainment. Of course, there's some pretty ladies on here, so you're having a good time. Shout out to my brothers. But I want you to know that if you have daughters or sons, like this is a living example from Marcus, him 500, saying those conversations really tick. They really clicked. It is what it was. And he was able to see an example with your father. I do want to ask you this. So now, you go through all of that, and most men, when they don't see the whole family unit, like sometimes they just big time players, and they just like, yo, I'm just gonna have all the women, I'm gonna do A, B, and C. But 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you decide like, I got my woman. What was it about her that made you say, man, I gotta lock all this down?
Man, you know, it's never be clear, because we do so much women and man contrast. It's never about the woman. It's about the man. It's because of who I am, right? And what I was able to identify out of life and my partnership that I was able to build. And one of the things is that throughout my life is that I've dated, I've been outside. It's just you realize in life who you start to become and who you want to become. And I learned and I looked and I seen the people I looked up to was married. I don't care if they was a hustler. I don't care if they was an entrepreneur. I don't care if they went to college. The ones who had the dope life was married. And so it's like, yo, here goes the common denominator. But now you start to look and be like, okay, I understand who I want to be. This ain't a thing of like I'm looking for somebody to help me become who I want to be. I'm building an identity of who I want to be as a man. And then I start to look at, okay, well, what contributes? Like if I spend my life and how I build my life, it's like, yo, what does my partner consist of? What does it look like? And so when meeting and dating my wife, it was like I had naturally had the instinct, like I'm out. Like, yo, how can I pull back? And I couldn't. And then every day she would challenge me to like, I felt like every day I had to do something. I had to be better. And it's like the conversations that we had challenged me to be better. And it's hard for somebody to tick my brain, to make me have to think, or like, I gotta prove myself.
right. Don't
I talk for a living. I got it.
Yeah.
So for you to make me do this, I'm like, I need you. You can't go too far because you helped me. I crushed outside, and inside with you pouring into me and helping me and being able to keep me in alignment, it changed everything. And so I looked at that. It was like, yo, it was like a balance of I seen what you did to me, but I also seen who and what I did to you. And what I did for you when it came to your dynamic and it came to your house and how you operated. And it was like, okay, we realized that we both benefit from each other. We need each other. It's almost like a thing where we feed off of each other's energy and the differences, right? And so at that point, I realized, I'm like, you know what? I found a person that I can build with. I found a person that I can exist with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
From there, we build, and you know, it is the rest is history. Yeah. But I look at it is that it wasn't never of like, yo, I was looking for a woman or I was looking for something. I was looking to be who I am today. And I was looking for somebody that can contribute and match that. And I wasn't forcing nobody into that. That's right. And I was down there pulling away. Like like my soul had to tell me like, yo, this is it. I had to feel it. And I felt it. And once I felt it, I'm like, okay, I'm here. This is what it is. Now, this is, okay, God, you're going to tell me that this is where I need to be at. Well, now tell me, lead me down this path. Yeah. What do I need to do? Who, as I become, help me with my vision of what, in what I desire, I got my desires. Yeah. The person, and I look back and I look, it's like every single step of the way, it wasn't about the person I was with or who I was. It was like, yo, the experiences and making this work helped me become a better person.
That's dope.
Helped me get to the person I wanted to be. I wanted to be a married man. I wanted to be a father. Like I wanted to have kids. I wanted to have a family. I wanted to do dope family stuff. And it was like, okay, now you have a partner, but yeah, that's what you want. But now guess what? Hey, deal with her attitude. Oh yeah. Deal with financial struggles when you ain't got it together, and be humble enough to be like, yo, ask for help. Yeah. Allow yourself to be in a position. You the man, right? But it was a time where, damn, I said this somewhere. I don't even know where I said it at.
Hey, wait, hold up. I'm gonna look this way and just go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Nope, because I had asked you to do that earlier in the show and you ain't did nothing, but I'm gonna pretend like I ain't see it. Did you subscribe? I hope you did. Because listen, the only way that we can expand is if you share with someone else, that you comment, and that you make sure that you tell a friend or tell another friend. So subscribe. Now back to the episode. Flat out.
Boy, my wife had to pay my restitution or I was going to jail.
Jeez.
And I ain't asked. She understood and knew me enough to say, hey, well, what's going on? I'm on the run. Like,
also, you went on the run too.
Not on the run like
on
that,
the
but
run-ish.
I ain't had the money to pay my restitution. I got out of court and closed my case, said I'm gonna give y'all $60,000. They fired me that day from my job.
The job you was working to pay them 96 hours a week.
Now it's over. They fired me. Well, a few months go by, that money you saved up and you had it gone. I'm like, yo, my probation officer told me to come in. She like, oh, what they tell you come in for? I'm like, I don't know. She just keep asking me questions. Like, well, she finally gets to the question, like, yo, you pay your restitution? I was like, nah, you know, it's, she's like, well, how much is it? I'm like, man, it's like $600-something. She's like, oh, she's nosy enough to she goes through all my stuff anyways, but she nosy enough to find out where to pay, how to pay it. And goes, all right, it's paid before I get there.
Yeah.
And I go, dang, I'm such a man. I'm like, I'm not thinking that that's a man. I ain't asking for help. Right. But it's realistically like it's childish, it's boyish. But it showed me that like you really care.
Yeah.
Like about my well-being. If I can't pay restitution, there's nothing I can do for you.
Yeah. No, that's real.
Financially.
I'm gonna take care of you.
So I'm like, cool. I said, you really like me. All right.
Like,
we got something.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
We got something. You really like me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Marcus, this is a new version of you that's about to emerge.
Mm-hmm.
I think you are about to meet your father and the little boy that you never let people see is about to emerge. I'm not saying that you're emotionless. But I know that you vibrate on a level that's really like, it is what it is, even when it hurts. I think when you get the opportunity to sit with him, and I think he's actually going to verbalize just how proud of the man that you've become, I think something on the inside of you is definitely going to be healed. And I think that's when expansion comes even more internationally and all of that for you, because it's something about a father who can tell you all of the game and then he can see it come to life in real life. And I just know that if I had to go sit down for some of the mistakes that I made or the decisions that I made and I pray for it and I come back and I had a son like you, I would be elated and thanking the good Lord that he kept you, that he changed you, and that you were able to make the Barney name be just as big or even bigger without any type of illegal activity. You know, it's like I made my mistake and I dust myself off. I see you being able to go into prisons. I just seen a vision of you and your father doing this speaking thing with prisons, that you guys are going to start implementing and executing financial literacy in prisons all around the world. And people are going to be really excited. They're actually going to pay you more to go speak. And these, like, you kind of been one like, damn, you know, Trap them do that. That's Jeremy them thing. And then they'll bring you on. You like, well, you know, nigga, I do it, but I just got in front of the camera fight. You know, y'all cold. But I really want you to refine that gift because you're about to be pulled on. I see that CNN, CNNBC, MSNBC, all of them, you're a showman, so you're gonna make it big and it's gonna be big. But I see national news outlets picking it up for the reformation that you guys have done to show like this is how you do it, and it's a beautiful story. And then people across the world, especially in urban communities, are gonna bring y'all in to speak because the proof is in the pudding. The game from the jailhouse was given to a child, and he took that thing to a whole nother level. I pay to see it. You know what I'm saying? I pay to go see it.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
You know what my dad do in prison?
What's that?
Mentor.
Praise the Lord. I had no idea, but I know what the Lord said.
He's a mentor, and he got a few courses left to get his bachelor's in psychology.
Yeah.
But he's a mentor, and he helps people prepare for a prison release inside and train and just kind of help them and lead them for what they can expect on the outside and how to kind of deal with that. He's the one who does the teaching and does that.
So if it was a few words that you could hear from your father when you come, like what are those words and what are you looking forward to?
I couldn't even. It ain't the words I could.
Yeah.
You know.
Are you like nervous?
I'm not nervous. I'm more so nervous about myself because of who I am. Like, yo, leave your expectations at the gate. And that's so for me to be aware, it's like I'm studying things and looking, but it's one thing that I have expectations of people. I put expectations on people because of how I operate.
Are they tough expectations?
Yeah, facts. Listen, I don't deal with excuses. I don't like soft shit. Like I don't like I won't do all that crying, but I know that's not his type. My bad on the language.
No, you good.
Okay, so, but I don't, you know, I see is that every day is a opportunity to take action, and what you do with it is who you are. Your actions define you, and when opportunities present themselves, when people do things every day, is your life is your choice. And I'm one of the ones I know I present people and give people opportunities, but the execution, what I'm learning is my level of execution is my level of execution because of my level of confidence, because of what I've been able to accomplish. See, when you actually accomplish something and you do it, you become more confident that, oh, throw it out there. I'm just going to go figure it out. I get it done. I put that on people. Yeah. And I'll be like, man.
I think that's a problem I have too.
And it'd be like, yeah, look, it's just boom, boom, boom. And it's like, you ain't do it.
Like, no, it's not just boom, boom, boom for them.
It
might just be boom, boom, boom for you.
And that's one of the things that I'm looking at and I'm working on. So I've been, working on not talking at people, talking to people, but then also realizing who they are. Yeah. Because I never speak to individuals, I speak to masses. Yeah. So I never speak to a one-on-one base, I speak to a group. But everybody's an individual. Yeah. But I try to put it in a collective. Yeah. So that's one of the things that I'm working on. So for my dad is that I'm excited, but I'm nervous for myself. And I'm challenging myself to be open and, expect disappointment, but understand the disappointment and be, a student, like learn and learn him, give him the ability to learn me and build our relationship. You know what I mean? Like rebuild freely. Yeah. My dad, he's never been gone. We always talk, but just giving him that.
I understand.
Grace.
Like, I think I'm in the same boat. Like, I just met my dad 4 years ago, my biological father. Yeah. And I was doing my best to, be a bridge and all of that. And that is now becoming real tough just because I'm just I wouldn't say a different pedigree of guy, but it's just certain stuff for me is just common sense. Like, the way I grew up, I don't operate that way. But then don't get me wrong, like, I'm an emotional dude, bro. Like, I can cry, like, I can feel my children, I can do all of that. Like, I think that's what makes me me. But when it comes to certain principles, like, it's just certain principles that I live by. Like, you don't do this, you don't do that. And it may not even be biblical. It's just my neighborhood self that I'm still trying to kill every day. Yep. Like, that could get you hurt for doing that, but you my dad, so I'm going to kind of give you a pass in that and try to generalize it. But I want to move forward just real quick because I know this is what you've been waiting for. It's 2025. There's a new election. There's a new president. There's a lot of people out here, number one, who know that this economy may go up. A lot of people are nervous about certain different things. The DEI is gone. The Department of Education may be gone. How do we win as African-American people in finances? And if you knew somebody, they had $50,000, $20,000 in savings, how do they leverage that to make that money work for them?
I wouldn't even talk to that person. Not in this economy. That person won already. You got $25,000, $50,000 in saving, you won already, right? You part of the elite. And it's like people always add, that was one of the big things. It's like, yo, you go for Kamala or with Trump. And I'm like, we look at Trump because of Trump's economic, what he does for the economy. In my financial position, it benefits me. I can go make $300,000-$400,000 this week off of the next thing. Just go put some money in Dogecoin. Like, we literally put $10,000-$15,000. I put $10,000 in Doge yesterday. It's already up and growing. It'll probably double within the next 7 days. So we looking going, I might put 100 over there. right? And it go, oh man, you put 100,000 there, and you before Christmas, you'll make another $100,000. I just made what the average person has to make in order to exist in America. Average person, in order to buy a home, you got to make 100,000 plus right now. in our economy, $105,000, $107,000 to be able to afford the average home. So somebody who has 50,000, the opportunities are there if the education is there. My issue is that I wasn't looking at the masses. I'm looking at everybody else in our community, because everybody that look like me does not have these opportunities. We are in a position where the Department of Education affects us, and the things that we learn helps mature and help grows us and gives us some kind of foundation. We have no culture. So when you start saying, yo, we gonna not talk about slavery, we gonna not talk about where you come from, we gonna X these things out, like it starts to, it wipes away our foundation of what we do have to build on to say who we are. See, I'm a hustler. I'm a get money nigga. I wear nice watches. My dad drive Benzes. That was instilled in me because of my foundation. So when I can look back and be like, nah, we strong. Look at what we overcome. Look at what we've been through to get to where I'm at. You know what? I got something to be prideful about. To see a LeBron James, and see a Michael Jordan, to see a Jay-Z, to see a Beyonce, to see a Oprah, to see all of these different people who've been able to accomplish so much. And where we come from, I can gauge it, and now it gives me confidence.
Right.
Take it away, it's like I got to go outside and look at Pookie, and I got to go outside and look and be like, oh, this is who we are. Nah, we come a long way. So I'm not, and that's one of the biggest things that I looked at in this election. But looking at it, going, okay, well, it's a lot of upside to it. We got no choice but to look at the upside. Got it. We have an opportunity now to where the economy will grow. Interest rates will probably come down. And this is not a thing that you can just give to say Trump did that. It happens. It's a cycle. Yeah. And if you're in the right seat, you get it, right? Yeah. And so what'll happen is that if moving to this economy, we got to learn how to feed ourselves. We cannot be in a position, and it's just one of the things is that my guy said people, middle class and the poverty, middle class and poor people basically exchange their life, feel like they exchange their life
for time.
For their money, right? Because you exchange time. If you go to work, you exchange your time for money, and then you feel like you give your life to it.
Wait, hold up. Hey, listen. Sorry to interrupt this amazing interview. I know you feel it in your shana on your left side. But I want to encourage you to join the Love You More Challenge. You know, statistics have shown that finances are a huge issue in relationships. And we want to make sure that you live in the overflow. So we are hosting a Love You More Challenge where you're going to get all the financial help you need as a couple. I believe this. If two or more gather in his name, there he is in the midst, right? And that he is Jesus Christ. He wants you to get wealth. He wants you to go to the next level. And I'm just tired of y'all bickering about money. I believe this. If your brain is stretched, it can never go back to its original form. So get your pen, get your paper. Let's get together. If you're single and you're serious, I want you to get this financial information. I'm bringing my whole financial team to make sure that you can get right this year. It's a Love You More challenge. Click the link in this YouTube. Flat out.
For their money, right? Because you exchange time. If you go to work, you exchange your time for money, and then you feel like you give your life to it. Because you do, because you have to give your time. Right. So you give your life in exchange for whatever income you make. But rich and wealthy people will create an offer and create an offer to pay for the things that they want. So everything costs the same. It costs your ability to think. And if I can think and create something, I can create something that'll pay for anything I want in my life. And if I can create something once, I can create something twice. I can create something 3 times. I can create it at a magnet scale, or I can create it at a small scale. If we learn how to create revenue, we can't lose. If we learn how to diversify revenue, we can't lose. If we learn how to invest, we can't lose. The key foundational point is learn. You every single day, everybody in this room gets dumber every day. You woke up today, you were dumber than you were yesterday. You woke up today, you were broker than you were yesterday, unless you are investing and your income is growing, unless you are educating yourself, because the way that technology goes and the way that it's evolving, we can't keep up. So we'll never be able to be, this is the smartest I am. No, every single day you're going to be dumber because we can't keep up with technology. It's so many things that we were not capable of keeping up with. We're going to constantly get outpaced. So it's going, man, I need to learn how to operate and realize that I got 10, depending on what, period in life you at, I got 10, 15 years left to be able to comprehend. Like for you to say, yo, my description is Chat GPT. Somebody that's 50, 60 years old is going, how you use that thing? That's the point where it's like, yo, I'm gonna be that. I'm gonna be 50, 60 and go, wait, what you said? All I gotta do is look, move my eyes this way and just think, and whatever I think is gonna create a technology gonna get there. And I ain't gonna be able to exist with it. But if I'm at a point where I'm financially stable and I've made the proper investments, certain functionalities never change when it comes to investing, when it comes to being able to control and understanding money, budgeting, you know what I mean? Being able to invest and being able to understand how to spend money and watch your money and know your numbers. That'll never change. That's the key, because I got family members that's 80 years old who still is like,
they still getting to it.
Yeah. And dumb as a sack of rocks for what's relevant now.
Exactly.
Can't tell you, but I don't know that Facebook stuff, man. I seen a video on that line they had to show me. But make $300 a minute.
Jeez. Is that like investing in stocks? Like
No, I got an uncle that got like 600-700 houses. But he like, you know, I understand politics, I understand all of this stuff, but that technology stuff, I don't get it. A chat GPT, man, get out of here, man. I couldn't press it. But that's what we got to learn. So when I say it is that,
how do we learn? How do we start?
So
to those of you, listen, I want to keep the energy up, but this is an informative episode, right? This is not a political show. This is not a financial show, but I know what you're going to need to love yourself more. You can't love yourself if you're looking at your finances going out the window every single day and you working for a check every single day. When your children coming home and their refrigerator ain't ready with food in it. I want to make sure that you have this. The one thing I've learned about Christian people is that we love God, but God says that money is the least of these, meaning that we got to think about it, but it's an abundant flow of it. So I want to make sure that you get the information so you can win in these next few years. So where do we start, Marcus?
The beautiful part is that we got online. It's we can go to college. But this is one of the things, right? A doctor go to school 11, 13 years and average doctor make about $300,000 a year. A nurse can go to school 2 to 6 years, make $100,000, $150,000 a year. Doctor make double because he just educated a little bit more.
He do less work too.
And do less work, right? But if I go, you understand the internet. You get rich, and one thing about it is people have problems. If you learn how to solve somebody's problem, you just need the framework one time. Remember, he said create. If I can solve a problem and I can identify where the biggest problems lay that everybody is affected by, and I learn how to solve pieces of this problem, I'll be rich forever. Or it'll solve a problem. So you think about it. Finances and fitness is something that everybody deals with. I don't care if you're skinny and you want to gain weight. I don't care if you're fat, you want to lose weight. I don't care if you good shape, but you want to build muscle. Unhealthy, whatever it is. Finances, it's a million ways. Investing, stocks, this, your credit. So I say, look, if we understand online is that people always looking like, well, all these self-help books and things like that, why do you think they create them? Why do you think Robert Kiyosaki is who he is? That book was made to what? Help somebody solve a problem, right? 48 Laws of Power, help somebody solve a problem. Well, now they had to go out and get the books printed and go on tours and come to our cities. And remember, they go to workshops. And now look, you can create an ebook, right? I'm going to walk through it. You create an ebook. You understand how to create funnels and websites. If you understand the psychology of creating a funnel and a website, it's one of the fundamentals, but you got to learn how to do that. Learn how to create a website, learn how to create a funnel that actually performs. If I can create a funnel that performs, make sure the checkout page has afterpay where people can buy now, pay later.
Yeah.
I still get paid right now. Boom, I win. Next thing is I learned the internet. I don't have to have a big platform. I can go and say, hey, how much does it cost to put an advertisement on the Willie Mo Jr. show since he has an African-American demographic who struggles with credit? Hey, now I figure out, okay, well, that's where I'm going to put a product at. Well, what problem am I going to solve? I'm going to tell somebody, you know what, let's take away price, because price is only a matter and only matters when value is not present. So if I say, hey, if I got an ebook for sale for $15, that'll help you get rid of that $3,000 collection. Hey, I got a $15 ebook for sale that will help you get rid of that credit card utilization that is costing you an extra $3,000 a year, $4,000 a year in interest. And I can show you how to hide your credit card utilization for $15. Yo, I can show you how to get rid of that repossession for $13,000 that you didn't finish paying and get it off your credit report in this ebook for $15. We no longer have a problem with the price of what I'm selling you and the problem that I'm fixing. Yeah. But I know that this is a blanket problem for everybody. So it's hundreds of thousands of millions of people who this product helps.
Yeah.
So I go, okay, cool. So now I'm gonna put advertisement on Willie Mo Jr. show. And when they come to my actual website, I know it's optimized. But I also know all I'm doing is meta ads because everybody's on Instagram or Facebook. Meta ads got a pixel. You don't got to come to my page and follow me. All you got to do is visit my website, and now I can pay Meta to go and put and remind you that you didn't buy my ebook.
$15. You need to get that 15.
Now, if I can optimize my advertisements that's collective, I can say, okay, listen, I want to get it to a $9 CPA, meaning I'm willing to pay $9 to make you buy. I'm willing to spend $9 to get a customer. If I got a $9 CPA at a $15 purchase on an ebook, I go, well, how much money do I want to make now? I know I profit $6 off of every $9. So if I want to make $15,000 a month, I want to make $15,000 a month on a $9 CPA, I'm going to spend about $22,000 a month. So if I spend $22,000 a month, I'll make $37,000. That's $750 a day on Meta ads. $750 a day. If I have $1,500, I can recycle that money. I don't gotta have the whole $22,000. I just need the daily.
I just need that daily to run the play.
Once I can optimize that, I say that's how I make $15,000 a month. Well, now that covers my mortgage, my car, keep my family safe. I may need to operate and do a budget and create something that only makes me another $10,000 a year, $15,000 a year for vacations. All I have to do is learn how to create, but the key thing is learn. And it's like, well, what do I need to learn? I need to learn. For me, I teach people. You got people out there who go day trade and learn stocks. You could trade stocks and understand options where you can make money every day. Pick something that you're comfortable with, whether it's online marketing, whether it's going and having people with credit and selling digital products, whether it's investing in the stock market, whether I can fix. The foundational point is getting access to capital, which is credit. If you ain't got no money, you're going to have to figure out how to get some. But you got to figure out how to generate income to pay back the credit. So, but once I get a small income, I don't care if I'm driving Uber. If you understand that if you spent $200,000 on a credit card and invested in the stock market or invested in real estate, your credit card minimum payment is $5,000 a month. So usually, if you make $6,000 a month where you can pay this back, you can go flip $200,000 and put it to work if you properly educated on where to put the money at. This is where we have to learn these foundational points. It ain't go learn a skill and go to work. Man, cool. You're gonna exchange your time and you're gonna die like that. You will not break the barriers of where we come from. We have no foundational freedom. If I get freedom, I can become a better person. See, I've been able to accumulate over 35 million before I was 35 years old. It's not the money. Yo,
hear what this boy said. He calmly said it too. That's my dog. It took me a while to put that battery in his back, but keep on going.
Bro, listen. Nah, get it. Look, young nigga I bought a private jet cash. This is not all of these things that I've been able to accomplish. Oh man, you better take your family and do this, dream wedding, do all of that. None of that mattered. That's not what I accomplished. The biggest thing that I accomplished was the person I became on this journey. Understanding and learning these things, experiencing these things, the man that I am now is much more valuable than every single thing that I've been able to accomplish. Everything that I've not accomplished, but acquire. Everything that I acquired, the money and the things like that, those tools help you become better because it starts to weed out relationships. It starts to help you be a better understanding, a better servant to your money. It helps you to understand and be a better leader. And realize money not gonna fix your family's problems. Money doesn't fix everybody's problems. When you got traumas and certain things, then no matter how much money you got, it's certain things that you have to dig inside of you and fix. And these things start to come about when you start to become emotionally, intelligent and aware of how I feel and how I react to things matter and how impactful it is to my life. And how now the world looks at you and goes, man, you made it. You got all this money. You should handle yourself a certain way. And you go, why? And you go, nah, you know what? I do. And I should.
Yeah.
Thank you. And now I do. Now, oh man, for me, I looked at it as I was on a money mission. I was on a health mission. And now my screensaver showed it. Years, all money in symbol was my screensaver. After that, it was my health goals. Doom, 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 doom. Now it's a scripture. Now I'm identifying my spiritual lack thereof. And now guess what? I'm on the Willie Mo Jr. show. I just did Jamal Bryant. I just did Jamal Bryant podcast.
That's so dope.
I'm going with TD Jakes. I'm hanging out and having lunch with TD Jakes. What? The things that I started to align with was because of who I became. When it was all money in, I was not, man, listen, who? Yeah. All right. Nope, I ain't going over there because that ain't what I'm on.
Yeah.
But I've learned and grown to be a better person than who I am.
Yeah.
And so when we get to an understanding of dealing with it, it's not always about the money. It's sometimes let's make it bigger. It's who you become.
Yeah.
The person you become, the discipline that you have to instill and have to actually accomplish some of these financial goals.
Yeah.
Is don't look at it as, well, I'm looking to make money. Well, look at it as that I'm looking to become a better person. And I'm becoming free. And I'm becoming a person that is worth leading. In leading a household and being able to lead my family, man or woman, I have a role that I have to be a leader in, have leadership that I have to do in my family. If you have no kids, in your community, in your friendships, it's that. And that's one of the biggest things I think that we learn and start learning how to educate ourselves and feed ourselves, because when we do, that gives us more time to focus on the human aspect and that being that we are to grow.
Bro, I'm so glad that you stopped by for a moment. For people out there who want to connect with you and just say, man, like, is there a course? Is there a community? Is there somewhere where we can just get a little bit more of the information? Because here's the thing, I want you equipped. You know, at the end of the day, you know, I've been blessed to do a whole lot, but I want to see you in a place where you realize, like, man, it don't take as much as I thought. I just need strategy, mindset, and consistency. And so I wanted to bring Marcus here. So how do they connect maybe with you or a place where they could go to probably learn a little bit more?
The biggest thing going in 2025 is not, I got products and things that they can buy. But the biggest thing is that I'm looking at is that I'm on a mission now to help 5,000 people fix their credit for free. So I built out a software, him500diy.com, where people can get their credit repaired for free. And because that's the understanding, is that a lot of people deal with this and deal with those struggles. And that's the foundational piece that we struggle with.
Got it.
It's like, I may have inquiries. I may have collection accounts I need to get. Okay, cool. I built the software, and this is the beautiful part about AI, that will help people put everything together for free, create the proper disputes for free. Because if I got to educate myself on credit and learn all these things, at that same time, I could have been learning to invest. I could have been learning how to actually build these funnels out and build out digital products and get into other environments. And I got to spend 6 months, 8 months learning this, unless this is going to be my business and I want to start a credit repair business. It's counterproductive for me to have to go learn every single rule of law to actually go through it and do it.
That's true.
So I built a software, and I'm like, you know what? My goal, let's help 5,000 people fix their credit for free and get on the right track, so then they at least can start helping with that foundation. And meanwhile, I'll take the mind work away from that. They build and win.
Learn something.
Then we build. We continue. We build, and so it's learning, but we still need that foundation.
What's their website again?
Him500diy.com.
Him500diy.com.
Yeah.
Him500, Marcus Boynton. I'll make some noise for it. Listen, I felt like I just went to class. Just then. Here's the thing, you know, I was just reminded as I was sitting here. You know, they had an offering, and they said Jesus was right next to the little offering plate, KD. He was looking at it like, what you put in there? And then they was going, you know, Jesus probably been fired now. You know, nowadays, if you looking at the offering, it's like, that's all you want. But Jesus actually seen a young lady, and she only had a little bit of money, and she gave her last. And the other people, of course, they were giving elaborately, and they thought that because of what they gave, they could sit on this high horse. But God said, man, you know what? Like, this woman here, man, she's something special, because she believed so much that she would give her last. And I know many of you all today, if I can be very, very honest with you, when you look at that account, you're thinking to yourself, man, this could be my last. But I always tell you this, if it can't meet your entire need, then it's your seed. I remember sitting in a church service, and I was like, man, I want to, you know, I think I had about $1,000, man, after the R&B career didn't work, and we was hustling and we was making money, and I was just about to go sell a little bit more weed. I knew one thing that I could do to just pull the power, but I realized that if I could start sowing seeds, and I started sending my mama $20, She was like, boy, why you sending me $20? I was like, because I want to take care of you. I started paying tithes and just putting a little, whatever that was, $100 every single month. And then I just started putting $100 over here, just a little bit after a little bit. And it's something about being consistent in those areas, proving to the Creator that if you bless me in abundance, I'm already setting a foundation for myself. So here's the thing. I want you to start putting a little to the side. To those of you who have a little bit more, I want you to do this. I want you to take some cash out of the bank. I want you to have that accessible to you because I don't know what this world is about to go to. I want you to invest in things like this. I know you hear a lot of people on the internet, hey, look at my car. I wanted to show you the man behind the car, the man behind the house, so you can say, he's just like me. He just remained consistent. Because I think sometimes people with the education have taken on a bad name because there's so many scammers and people who are just pretending. He's not. And he was transparent about his story. I know that you could see yourself in his story. I know that you could understand why he's the way he is in his story. And here's the thing. I want to give you people who can actually help you. So there's an opportunity. If you're looking at a credit score, you're like, man, I'm at a 550, 600. He's helping 5,000 people. In fact, Jesus even helped 5,000 people. It's a beautiful number, and I hope that you're a part of the number. So make sure you lock in and do what you have to do. So the next conversation we have with him, when it's time to invest, you'll be ready. Even if it's just a little bit, make it expand. My name is Willie Mo Jr. I want to see you subscribe to this channel here. Tell 15 people about this show, and I guarantee you this. With this type of information, you should be able to love yourself more, flat out.
Love you more, love you more.